I am Tod Caviness, and this is Saving Throw. The bards will never sing of Beric Hammerhand. You will never hear the tale of how the dwarven warrior priest of Clangeddin Silverbeard spread the gospel of battle with each swing of his mighty maul, baptized trolls in blood at the Yatil Mountains, and won the treasures of the vampire queen Drelsna before finally selling his Trans Am and moving to Georgia. No chronicle shall there be of Talon Grim, wearer of the cloak of darkness, who in his pride and stealth defied even the Thieves' Guild of Highport before he took that kitchen manager's position at Ruby Tuesday. No three-picture deal awaits for the story of Magar the Barbarian, whose quest to liberate the Sword Frostmourne from the tomb of the Lich King was only ended when he finally got laid in sophomore year. Like everyone else in the 80s, we did not know how to share. There were no invisible tribes waiting for our passwords, no way to quantify our wit in likes or hits. We had no screens to hide behind, but the one that told us the numbers we needed, the targets to save, to hit AC 0. Every Sunday we struck sparks off the tabletop in Gene Thompson's den. With each roll of the dice, spun stories around that campfire that were ours, and ours alone. Every Sunday that was us. And the rest of the week, we were them. The front of the bus kids. The last generation to carry the name nerd with a heavy weight. Clichés are only truths constant enough to be boring, and you could spot us by the usual markings: the thin vinyl jackets, the eyes like darting rabbits, high tops that never saw a basketball court. But there was a deeper difference between us and the parking lot kids, the ones who got out of puberty with their confidence intact. You could see it in their eyes after the Challenger turned into a wilting white flower against the sky one Tuesday morning. Just before the obligatory shame, that wide-eyed Michael Bay wonder at the explosion. That certainty that their own rocket was destined for the stars, scholarship, a house in the hills. We, better than they, better than the parents or preachers who warned us against demons and witchcraft, knew that heroes fail. They die on long, boring marches, in supermarket aisles, clutching at bum tickers strapped into bombs that won't be diffused. And admittedly, we did believe in witchcraft. The spell takes 2 to 5 players, and the incantation starts with a voice behind a screen. The entrance to the dungeon is wide, carved stone walls narrowing into a passageway sloping upward into pitch darkness. From within, faint laughter can be heard. What do you do? Every Sunday, a new beginning. Every Sunday, a world that made sense where the dragon still awaits, where his treasure still awaits, hours and hours alone, and where Caviness the Magnificent still awaits, crouched at the campfire's embers, framed by an eternally rising sun. God. Hey, I got through that without a drink. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say. Really starting to have feelings about that corner. What was it held on there by? Not touching it. Yeah. Should I keep looking at the camera, or you? Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, whenever. Hey, I'm still Tod Caviness, poet about town in Orlando by way of Altamont Springs these days. What do I do these days? Little freelance journalism here and there. I worked at the Orlando Sentinel for about 10 years. These days I'm being as much of a hermit as I can, which is pretty easy in Altamont Springs, honestly. And once a month I head down to Little Indies in Orlando to host Loose Lips, and it's a reading series with a bit of a difference. I get 5 local authors, poets, comedians, sometimes journalists together, and they can read 10 to 15 minutes of whatever they want as long as it's inspired by something that happened in the news the past month. So the elevator pitch would be Daily Show meets Orlando literature. So that's what I do that's relevant to this, I guess. Oh man. There, I worked the nightlife beat, which is not as strange. You don't really come up with much strange there. It's really people getting drunk are the same just about anywhere. I heard a lot of good stories secondhand from the guys on the cops beat, which I was glad that I didn't have. Um, Stranges is tough. I mean, like best stories. I did get to talk to Art Spiegelman. Like, I guess people on this podcast might be excited about that. So good, I can finally get excited in the company of people that are excited about it. I got to talk to him. I got to interview Elvis Costello. So yeah, I mean, for that stuff alone, it was worth it. Strange stories, yeah. I mean, like I said, it was the nightlife beat, so a lot of the stranger things I probably forgot the next morning. But
Tell your son that enjoys Dungeons and Dragons. Which do you enjoy better, being the game master or play?
oh man, I haven't. I've hopped into a few of my friends' RPGs, but I really haven't like gamed in earnest for a while. I was the default DM among my group of friends for a while. I used to play GURPS. GURPS is still around. Is GURPS still around? Great system. You can debate me about that. I'm on Facebook, but yeah, no, I like being a player these days. I used to like being a DM a lot more because I enjoyed the storytelling aspect a little more. And I think I was a little more of a control freak in those days. So, but these days, no, I would much rather just jump in and watch things happen.
And where can we find you on the interweb?
I am on Facebook along with the rest of the uncool kids. Tod Caviness. I'm pretty easily findable. I also run the Poetry Vending Machine, poetryvending.com, and we're going to be at the Orlando Fringe Festival each May. We do a poetry on demand booth where people can pay $5 and we write them a custom made poem. And yeah, it's an excuse for us to drink for free the whole week, and the Fringe gets the benefits. Fringe benefits, huh? So yes, that's the other thing I kind of do with my time that allows me to call myself a writer these days. So